This is, can a Magic player learn modern Yu-Gi-Oh? No. You people have mana. You think you can handle like Yummy Cupsy normal summon when your land pass is your epic play? I don't think so. All right, let's check it out.
Well, I guess we're doing this. Like so many people from my generation.
What is going on with the green screen? Someone needs some lighting.
I grew up surrounded by Yu-Gi-Oh! I had my mom recorded on the TV, I got tins on the holidays, and names like Yugi and Kaiba were playground celebrities. I truly loved Yu-Gi-Oh! And it was my introduction into card games that weren't just poker or bridge. But eventually the people around me stopped playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And found other hobbies like Magic the Gathering, which I ended up gravitating towards. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Always stuck in the back of my mind. It held this special place in my heart as where it all began. And I think how people get back into the game is different for everybody. But for me, it was that content loop that Rare and created of card gamer showing card gamer a card from a game that they've never played before.
And he's everywhere, dude. He's everywhere.
In those videos, they talk about how unapproachable the game is now, how fast it's become, how it's like solitaire. So could I, someone who's been playing Magic for the majority of my life, get back into modern Yu-Gi-Oh? Is that a thing I could do? So like I said before, I'm not completely new. I did play in the ye old days, so I know what a normal summon is, a special summon is, and I even know what a synchro summon is. Remember when people were debating if this card was too strong? But at the same time...
Oh shit, that's a 2008 dad gamer. Yeah, no. alright, I can, can pinpoint exactly when this guy stopped playing. Dark Arm Dragon, September 2008 format. Or something. I'm close enough, but...
I think I have my work cut out for me. So real quick, I wanted to talk about...
Oh no, he did the bet! He did the thing! He did the thing!
But at the same time...
Look, this is the Rata meme where every single like non-Yu-Gi-Oh player who makes a Yu-Gi-Oh video has to show a pendulum synchro or fusion monster. They have to. Like it's a rite of passage. It's how you know it's a good video. It's because it's going to have one of these fucking dog shit cards that no one plays. At least this one is like semi-playable, I think, right? Or has seen play. And not one of those like DD Doom King Nirvana High ass fuck Paladin cards or something. So yeah, we're off to a good start.
I think I have my work cut out.
Is that Mordred? No, he's not Serbian.
Out for me. So real quick, I wanted to talk about being a new Master Duel player in general. This game absolutely showers you in gems. Open the game, here's 500 gems. Play the tutorial, here's another 1,000 gems. Every single solo gate that you finish as well provides another 200 gems. Every single SR that you craft has a free pack associated to it, as long as it's from this spreadsheet. And all of a sudden, on a
oh, he found the spreadsheet. A fun tip, hack, whatever. There is a deck that you can literally load up from the public search. I think it might have a code or somewhere. Just Google it on search it up on Reddit. And you can actually find a deck that gives you what to craft. So if you craft everything inside of this deck, not Ryziel, it gives you, because you know when you craft a card from a new pack that you haven't opened before, it gives you one free pull. So, because there's been so many new secret packs in the game, there's like a deck code that you can copy from Reddit. Just type in like free pack pulls or something, Reddit, you'll find it. You craft all of those cards, it gives you like 40 free pulls. And then you just use all of those packs to pull URs and SRs and make dust with them.
You have like $200
so that's the spreadsheet.
Gems and crafting material to go spend on whatever you want. Which I'll give credit to Konami for making it very free-to-play approachable in that regards, because these prices are crazy. So I've got my gems.
Which, by the way, like, nowadays...
approachable in that regards, because...
$71 for 5,000 gems? 50 packs? Like, I'm just trying to think of, like, the last pack that I built was with, like, Draco Tail, and, like, how many times I went into there. And I'm like... if you were to like boil that down to raw numbers, I think Draco Tail would probably, you know, outside of doing events and like collecting and getting all of the gems and stuff and playing weekly and daily for months, I mean, my God, like you're spending probably like $100 or something just to build like Draco Tail. It is obscene how expensive this is, and probably for a good reason, because it is very free to play when you're clever with your gems.
These prices are crazy. So I've got my gems, I've played some solo mode, what's next? What deck do I build? In an eternal format like Yu-Gi-Oh, there's so many options you could go down. How could I possibly decide on what to pick? Okay, before you get to this, hear my logic out. I'm going into this knowing that it's a complicated game. I'm also going into this knowing that Master Duel is a competitive ladder, so I need every advantage that I can get. Secondly, it's not a combo deck, and I don't have to sit there and study combos like it's a chess opening that I've never seen before in my life. And finally, I'm a boomer.
Is that
so I don't have
actually
to
the
sit there and
Orca
study
spreadsheet?
combos like it's a
This is the Orca spreadsheet, yep. Orca's 1-2 card combo guides. Harpist Band Edition. Oh, wait, okay. This is why it's so complex. This is the Harpist Band version. Yeah, this is the 2019 one. Combo 4, combo 22. Alright, okay. 22 combos in this one sheet. Nice.
chess opening that I've never seen
ECG had Heart Band? Yeah, dude, like 6 years ago.
before in my life. And finally, I'm a boomer, so fusion summoning is based. Sue me. So after watching a 9-minute YouTube guide on seeing how the deck is supposed to work, I just hopped right in.
Shout out to Moha. Oh shit, is this his like very first Draco Tail duel?
Now hopping in, doing rookie to the floor of platinum is pretty much a warm-up. Now I'm not saying this as a flex, like, oh, I'm too good for gold, but you literally cannot D-rank until platinum. You can play like an actual ape and just be clicking buttons, and as long as you win a game every once in a while, you'll rank up. It's a nice little that makes you feel good about it while still giving you some gems, while also allowing you to make some mistakes, which I definitely did not make. And while it's definitely true,
oh, Pan, pop your own monster.
Much faster than it used to be.
I'm surprised I haven't done that yet,
I've
by
had
the way.
plenty of back and forth games, even when I'm going second. And don't get me wrong, I definitely see how powerful going first is compared to going second. But
oh shit, he knew the nip choke point.
Seems to make it sound. Now, during
he didn't instantly fire it.
One other thing I noticed too that helped me out a little bit. You see, like I said before, Yu-Gi-Oh's an eternal format with thousands of decks.
How did he learn that? Like, that's not something you get from a basic guide. Like, oh, how to play Draco Tail. You don't go on that and then it teaches you, oh, by the way, when there's 2/6 fiends on the field, now you have to nib on Caesar. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's... Like, that requires a decent amount of, like, time, effort invested to learn that specific point in the game, right?
That you could go up against.
He's a natural.
And there's no way to realistically...
He's level 35. What the fuck? Wait, what? Bro, is this like someone's account? 35... Okay, to be fair, it's like exponential. So level 1 to like 10 is really quick, and then it gets like really slow. So the gap between 35 and 40 is probably massive. But 35 is hard though. Like how long has he been playing the game? 35 is huge, dude. The 30s are slow. Yeah.
Figure out what each deck does to try to counter.
I'm 37 and I have 2,900 hours. Dude, like, how long has he been playing this game? This is not just jumping into Draco Tail, man. Like, we've got is this a Yu-Gi-Oh? Wait, hold on. What if he's a Yu-Gi-Oh player pretending to be a Magic plant to convince Magic players that Yu-Gi-Oh is better, huh? I'm serious. Like, 35 is really sus. There are people here with 37 and they have 1,100 hours in the game. Like, this is sus.
But what I've noticed is that most decks generally just fall into a subcategory where they all play the same flavor of the same thing. I'll give you some examples, and I'm going to make some Magic comparisons, so bear with me here. First is combo decks. Combo decks just want to put all of their cards into building as big of a board as possible and hoping that you can't break it. This is probably the furthest deck away from the Magic definition of a combo deck, where in Magic, combo decks are generally slower decks where they're building to a 2-card win button that instantly wins them the game on the spot. Next is mid-range decks, like the deck I'm playing. Mid-range decks try to be as efficient as possible without putting too many resources into their plays. They want to keep it simple, and they want to give their opponent as little points to interrupt them as possible. And I would say mid-range decks have a play pattern that is the closest approximation to Magic the Gathering. Next is going second decks, which I would equate to aggro decks. These are decks that are just looking to break your board and kill you with combat. It's sweet, it's simple.
Hydra, bite his balls. What? Someone please send me the original of this. This is amazing. This is sick.
But there is a level of engagement because you have to interact with the opponent's board because you're always letting them go first. Next are control decks. These are also very low to the ground decks that are generally just filled with either trap cards or affectionately named end traps to control the board and force a simplified game state. And then finally, there's stun, which is just stacks and an atrocity to God. What else can I say? So by trying to identify how my opponent's decks fell into these categories, I could kind of figure out what their win condition was trying to be, which did help me try to figure out how to interrupt these guys on my climb. And climb I did, because before I knew it, by learning the game through Draco Tail, I made it to No longer are the
Yo.
ranks of Woolubot and Johnny Dark Magician trying to
Wale! I love that guy, dude.
one-up me with his...
Where did he find these memes? Like, some of these are like... I have watched Armastedo every week for 3 years. And some of these I've never seen before. Are these OG, like, you know, homebrewed memes he's made for the video? Or where we get these? Like, these are good.
Eternal Soul. This is where I really had to learn the game.
Doug
Now,
Stash.
one of the biggest differences between Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh, other than the mana thing, is the stack. So in Magic, we have the stack. You can target anything on the stack with a spell. You can add new spells to the stack mid-resolution. And hell, if you have enough quick effects, you can just play an entire turn in response to one of your opponent's effects. Yu-Gi-Oh, however, has something they call the chain. And the chain, while very similar to the stack, functions entirely differently. So let me explain. Say you wanted to negate a card with your Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. In order to negate that effect, your Ash Blossom needs to be directly after it in the chain. And for every effect similar to this, it works the exact same way. The chain is closed, so you can't negate effects that are down further on the chain than what was previously played. Another big difference is that once the chain starts to resolve,
Laughs in transmigration.
it fully resolves, uninterrupted. You have an on-summon or an on-death effect, well, you're waiting for the chain resolves before you can activate that bad boy. This creates a whole new form of interaction that I've never had to deal with as a Magic player, called chain blocking. You see, as the player, if you can get 2 cards to trigger simultaneously, then as the player, you can order which ones go where on the chain. So you can take an effect and put it lower on the chain to insulate it from your opponent's disruption. One other big difference is that since the chain has to fully resolve before things can activate, my guy Malulu here has to be used preemptively to a summon if I wanted to negate that summoned monster's effect. This is vastly different to Magic, where this would work, where I would be able to send my Malulu to the graveyard and then negate the card in response. And look, I get it. I know it's a skill issue, but as a Magic player, this was a really hard habit to get over because I've lost so many winnable games treating the chain like the stack. And Yu-Gi-Oh is definitely a game where a misplay costs you the whole game. And maybe it's just me being a little too Magic brains, but I think the hardest thing that a Magic player is going to have coming over to this game is learning the difference between the stack and the chain. But overall, I learned a pretty...
That's so interesting. I feel like it's probably Magic's game that's more complicated in that regard, right? Because whenever you're interacting with your opponent, you have to think about at any point in the middle of a chain, they can interact with you. Whereas in Yu-Gi-Oh, it's like, the chain is the chain. Like, you don't change things. Like, it happens and you resolve it in a linear line type of thing, right? So the stack alone is like a mind game. Yeah, that's crazy. It just comes from habit. Coming someone whose first card game is Lord Chain Blocking blew my mind. You guys more complicated because you have to think about how the effects happen after the chain. I feel like there's way more interaction, like, because the stack can be interacted with at any point as those points are resolving. I don't know. It just seems like that's harder to think about and do stuff with because there's just so many more variables. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. There's so many more variables compared to Yu-Gi-Oh! Whereas the Yu-Gi-Oh! Variables are like, do you want to respond to the chain? Yes. Okay, this is now on the chain. Do you want to respond to the chain again? Yes, this is now on the chain. So yeah.
Persevered, and I finally made it to Master Rank. So what do I think now that I've gotten here? To be honest, the two games aren't really comparable outside of the fact that they're both printed on cardboard. So I think
hey, I said that's exact line.
Professional opinions on what are the pros of this game. To start, it really is a fun and unique experience. I can see why so many people...
I like that his camera is going out of focus and his green screen is like dying. It's so good. It's so good.
Love this game. I know a lot of people have issues with the one-card starters, but I think they add a component to the game where it gives it that heart of the cards moment, where you draw it when you're on the back end of a bad situation, and it gets you out of a tight jam. That's kind of an experience that you don't get often in other card games. And also, I will say that the...
Really? Also, oh god, there's a lot to unpack there. Ugh. Well, he himself recognized that most of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just played in one turn, so this idea of, like, top-decking the crazy one-card starter is, like, a heart-of-the-cards moment. But, like, how often does that really happen, right? Because the game just ends, like, when you either break the board or have the board broken. Also, is that not a thing in mana games? I've played Hearthstone before. I've had situations where I'm low on resources, I'm ticking down, and then I... you know, some point draw like this big, insane 10 drop. Fucking King Crush or whatever the equivalent was at the time. Ultimate Infestation. you know, and then bang, I'm back in it, right? Like that. I think other games also can have that potentially if you've had the mana set up in Magic over the course of a game. Top deck Deathwing, yeah, like other games also have that situation. In fact, I feel like they would happen more often than Yu-Gi-Oh, because top decking in Yu-Gi-Oh is like, I mean, obviously it's relevant, but you kind of like 2 turns, your turn, my turn, we kind of can see who's going to win by the end of turn 2 usually. In Magic, no one plays expensive cards since games are gotten too fast. There is that Magic cards don't do everything off 1 card. Top deck Sage with Eyes of Blue in a grind game feels good. That's old Hearthstone and new Hearthstone. Your hand size doesn't go below 5. 5, or try like 8 or something.
Decks are excellent. If you look into the theme or the lore of any deck, their theme and lore is pretty well represented through gameplay, and I really appreciate that. Konami put a lot of work into making these decks' themes feel like they're doing what they would do within the context of Yu-Gi-Oh. So,
oh, dude, I had this exact feeling with Magic. I think like just game designers and card games in general do a good job of their themes being how they actually function. Like in Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, a great example is like Dangers work, how Dangers thematically work is these like cryptid mythical species. They like pop out and they hide in the hand, and then they special if you like randomly miss them. And like, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh is very good at that. Adamancipator literally excavates the top of a deck like a miner would. Magic the Gathering, it felt the same way as well when I played Red. You're activating a couple of lands, you're buffing your guy, making him huge, and then you're one-shotting your opponent. It's really good. It's really good.
These next few are Master Duel specific, but I'm still going to count them. Just the fact that the client reminds you of triggers, the fact that the client reformats the text box to actually be readable, and it even highlights the text of the effects that's activating on the card. It really helped me in figuring.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, this is a massive issue in paper. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Western cards, specifically in English, aren't paragraphed. They don't have bullet points. Hopefully they fix that one day. But the Master Duel client, say what you want about Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel like, is a objectively insanely good client. Like, really good client. One Piece is also good at that. Characters effects that are lore accurate. It's sick. Yeah, I mean, I could tell by the way fucking Trafalgar Law played. Jesus Christ, that thing looked broken. Like getting roomed in real life by your ball sack.
Figuring out what effect was activating, where on the card it says it.
If you know what One Piece is, you know what you understand what I just said.
And why it was activating in the first place.
Yo, Trafalgar Law when he shambles my ass for the 10th dawn. What am I saying? Sorry.
They did not play that hard. Now, it might sound all like sunshine and rainbows, but I do have my gripes with this game. To start, the solo mode will teach you.
There's a boa card that says stun a card except Luffy.
Great for free gems will teach you absolutely nothing about what a real game of Yu-Gi-Oh is actually like. I don't know how you fix that, considering how complicated the game is, and even the most.
Sorry, I need to go back. I was yapping too much about shambling my ass.
Just the fact that the client reminds you of triggers, the fact that the client reformats the text box to actually be readable, and it even highlights the text of the effects that's activating on the card. It really helped me in figuring out what effect was activating, where on the card it says it, and why it was activating in the first place. Also, shout out to the music team. They did not have to go that hard. Now, it might sound all like sunshine and rainbows, but I do have my gripes.
I can't believe you didn't play it.
The solo mode will teach you nothing about this game. The solo mode, great for free gems.
Yeah. Okay, that's not like completely true, all right? Because don't forget, this guy came into this having understood the very basic concept rules, right? Summoning, phases, activating. Like, the solo mode does teach you that, right? Now, it's not going to give you intermediate lessons, really. So that part is true.
Will teach you absolutely nothing about what a real game of Yu-Gi-Oh is actually like.
Yeah, it won't teach you how a real game works.
Considering how complicated the game is, and even the most competent solo mode deck will do dumb shit. Next, I think I got pretty lucky with Draco's Hill being the best deck when I decided to jump into the game. If it was a combo deck, for example, I don't think I would be as enticed to actually learn this game. See, the problem with a lot of combo decks in Yu-Gi-Oh is that you need to study the spreadsheet before you play the game. Like, I don't know why Konami decided to make some decks so complicated that you can't figure out how to even use it without a spreadsheet telling you what to do. I think some people even sell them.
He keeps showing the orchestra, but that's like not the best example, weirdly enough.
The spreadsheets online, which is
yeah, I don't know, it's weird. Like, if you were to just sit down and pick up cards for the first time of a certain archetype as a veteran Yu-Gi-Oh player, you might be able to eventually piece together how it works, but once the hive mind gets to work and optimizes it, I mean, yeah, you are literally learning like, 5 to 10 anywhere from like basic lines of like one card combo, two card combo, one card combo that plays around Nib, one card combo that plays around Ash, two card combo that plays around both, two card combo that goes all in and doesn't play around anything, blah 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 blah. And that is where a lot of the mastery of Yu-Gi-Oh is like coming into a duel having been prepared.
Fucking crazy. And finally, I want to talk about the lack of a mulligan. On an online...
Guys, people keep saying like DDD. DDD hasn't been complicated for years, by the way. DDD is like ironic, like weirdly enough, after all this time, is easy now. Like DDD is not hard anymore. Like Griffin and something else like made it like genuinely super linear.
Ladder, I guess it's not that bad. I can just surrender. And
Griffin was like the big one.
But in a tournament setting, if you brick, Konami just expects you to play it out. That must be so frustrating if you're in a very crucial game in a tournament and you just brick and can't do anything about it. And I understand the necessity to not allow mulligans, especially partial mulligans. Oh my god. But there has to be some sort of way to at least try to balance that issue. I want to talk about the elephant in the room. I know every Yu-Gi-Oh player has been holding their breath, waiting patiently for me to talk about this one.
Okay, just before he goes on to the next point here, mulligans in Yu-Gi-Oh! We've talked about it a few times. The only other option really is to like suggest maybe we also allow mulligans for going second. Partial mulligans would be ridiculous, but going second in Yu-Gi-Oh! Needs like some juice, either with more cards or, print more Ketus, print more Faminas, print more Zeuses, print more Typhons. Or you just let the going second maybe draw another card. Should we go up to 7 this time? When are we gonna... Because you look at the World Championship spreadsheet for win rates, it was something like going first win rates were 20 to anywhere between 20 to 30% higher than going second. And in an ideal world, you want those numbers to be completely flat, right? You want going first to have a 50% win rate. You want going second to have a 50% win rate. So, I don't know. Does Yu-Gi-Oh! Need even more help for going second? Maybe. All right.
And here he is.
Oh, this was the next subject. Okay.
Look, I understand what Maxx C is supposed to be doing.
He likes it. The thing is, he plays Draco Tail. Draco Tail plays really well into Maxx C. I would forgive him if he said that Maxx C was actually okay. I know it's coming.
For the game. But when it's used like this, my soul...
Never mind.
Leaves my body. Because the big thing with this game is that there is no mana. The cards are the resource. And yes, the going first player has the initiative to generate card advantage. So the going second player should have the option to generate card advantage in response. I don't think that's unfair. But when I watch my opponent do some big combo and I'm looking at my hand like, maybe I can break through, and then they throw Maxx C behind it, oh my god. Like, look, Yu-Gi-Oh players, I get it now. I used to be on CGB side where Maxx C was not that bad. It's just drawing cards. But no,
On whose side? What did he say? CBT? Yeah, I mean, back when he played, Maxx C was definitely fair. CGB? Oh, right, the Simo guy. I've said that really badly. The guy who does collabs with the Simo guy. yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, Maxx C was fine for 10 years, I want to say. No, probably not that long. When was Maxx C printed in TCG? 2012? It was fine for like half a decade, and then 2016, 17 onwards is probably where the card got a little bit unreasonable. 2011, yeah.
I really get it now, guys. It's not just drawing cards. It is so bad. But outside of these little gripes, I do think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a great game. If you've ever thought about trying to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! And wanted a unique experience within the card game space, or you're just a Dredge player, I couldn't recommend Yu-Gi-Oh!
Or you're a Dredge player.
While editing this, I decided to participate in the Duelist Cup. I didn't do well, but I was there. And to be honest, I think I will keep playing this game in my free time. Anyway, I'm George. I really appreciate you guys watching. Love you guys. Bye. I think I will keep playing this. And while editing this, I decided to...
Well, he got more than Sam.
to participate in the Duelist Cup. I didn't do well, but I was there. And to be honest, I think I will keep playing this game in my free time. Anyway, I'm George. I really appreciate you guys watching. Love you guys. Bye. So I'm doing this outro a bit unscripted. I just wanted to say, if you got this far, thank you so much for watching. This is my first YouTube video ever, and I'm not great at making YouTube videos, but I really tried my best here, and I had a lot of fun making it. If you guys have any recommendations on what you want me to yap about, or even just editing suggestions, like where I need to adjust audio.
Okay,
film,
my question is, why are we level 35?
But yeah, I really appreciate it. If you guys like, subscribe, comment, any of that jazz, I'd be more than ecstatic. Thank you directly after it in the chat.
Like, I know it's not that big of a deal, but it is genuinely sus. Like, we're talking about a new player experience. Level 35 is, we're talking like 4 digits of hours invested potentially. Like, hundreds of hours go into getting 35. Did he answer in the comments? Let's read his comments. I did expect to wake up to see this many people see, enjoyed, engaged with the content. Expectation was maybe 100 views and a comment from a bot saying, great video, blessed day. I should comment saying, great video, blessed day. Thank you for giving me such a warm introduction. I've been reading every single comment and taking notes. A lot of ideas planned for the future. Thank you again for each and every one. Okay, all right. He didn't actually address the question. 50 solo modes per day. All right. Well, anyway, you know, cool video. I never like to say good or bad video to these type of things, because ultimately, like, it's good in the sense that it gives it gave Yu-Gi-Oh a fair and reasonable chance, which is good. But ultimately, this is always just going to be an opinion piece, right? So that's cool. You know, however he played the game, it was done in a fair and reasonable way. And his conclusions are ultimately just going to be total. He loves every comment. That's crazy. Every single opinion and take is just going to be subjective and personal, and that's cool. But yeah, as long as it's done fairly. Okay, I control F35. No one asked why, but whatever. All right, anyway, this is Crispy Applesauce, so go check him out if you want to see some follow-ups or something, and I guess from him. All right, bye-bye.